Hello everyone, my name is R.J. Harris, and with your help, I will be the first Libertarian president in more than 100 years. What I'd like you all to do is, for just a minute, think about the Supreme Court of the United States swearing in a champion of freedom and liberty, and together we can make that happen. Now, as I travel around the country and speak to a lot of libertarians, I hear stories about how the other major parties have worked together, colluded, used legal and illegal means, constitutional and unconstitutional means, to eliminate our voice from the debate, to hold our party down, to hold our principles down, and not to let us be heard, or to give the citizens of this republic the alternative choice that freedom demands that they have. But folks, I'm here to say that we can change all that. And as much as we've suffered defeat in the past, especially on the national stage, I have to assume and I have to think about the same things that must have happened to George Washington and his men as they fought for our freedom and liberty so long ago. And the people that had to come to him and tell him, "Sir, we've lost battle after battle, and we're just not going to be able to pull this one out." But he would not listen. And in the end, we defeated the British. We won our freedom and liberty, and for a time, that was the legacy of this republic. And what I've come to share with you all today is that in our time, we can establish that as our legacy to our children, freedom and liberty reigning again, once again, in our republic. Now, as proof of that, I offer to you what has been going on, not only nationally, but what's going on in my home state of Oklahoma. There, we have started a libertarian brush fire, and it's beginning to spread to other parts of the nation. We're getting much positive press from the mainstream media, from the newspapers that cross the state of Oklahoma. We're about to get ballot access for our party for the first time in a decade. And we're also getting outreach throughout the body politic of the state. Folks, this is very exciting to see that one of the states in this union is standing up to say that we want an alternative. We want a different choice. We want a new voice. And no, we're not going to continue voting for the same parties and for the same people that have put us $15 trillion in debt, have embroiled us in foreign wars all over this globe, and have continued to erode the foundations of liberty and freedom in this nation. And I just want to end with this. Folks, we can restore freedom and liberty in our time. Thank you.
My name is Carl Pearson. I'm an attorney, and I have very specific things that I want to share with you, because this is not only the national campaign, but I'm also working at the very lowest level. For the national campaign, I know how to create jobs. I created the paralegal field years ago. I have another career field that's paraprofessional to small business owners. We have my plan, the first 3 are free. If we eliminate all regulation for the first 3 employees of any business in America, we will have millions of people hired overnight at no cost to the government. All we need to do to create jobs is to eliminate regulation. That's the key thing, and that's wholly libertarian. That's what we need to tell the people. We should be known as the Jobs Party. At the local level, I have a long-range plan that will really allow us to become the #1 party in the country. I can help any community in this country, any town or village, create prosperity for itself. And the first thing is that you have to go into a team of 10 people and knock on every single door. And when you do that, you take email addresses and you create email addresses for those that don't have them. Once you do that, can anyone tell me what you have after you finish that? You own the town's newspaper. So all of the problems that we've had as libertarians in trying to get press, we can now get a viral condition when we go to the lowest level of government. We can actually get every single person in town to be a subscriber to the only newspaper, because we'll put the major newspaper, the only what the only other one out of business. So what we'll do then is create a tuition-free equivalency college for residents only. That way land values will go up, and they will have a world-class education to create a Silicon Valley for that community. Also, we will have a database where everyone in town will put in the tasks and goods that they wish to offer for sale or wish to buy in a database. That database will then be advertised by low-cost radio advertising to the 25-mile radius around the town, which happens to be 2,000 square miles. And you'll have 5,000 people participating in a $1 ad, so that the cost really per person is nothing. This way we can bring income into the town, that it can create self-employment and small businesses, have an area-wide payroll administrator to make it easy to hire people, and that's the way that we can have people become libertarians, and it will spread like Craigslist across the whole nation. Thank you.
My name is Bill Still. I'm from Virginia. I'm the only candidate who can harness the anti-Wall Street, anti-bank sentiment, which is key in this election. I have a large national following right now. I have people in every state willing to work for me and willing to work for you right now. My core economic team consists of Carl Denninger, head of Market Ticker, and Nathan Martin, head of Nathan's Economic Edge. Jonathan Lazat is my campaign manager. He's CEO of Designs for Health, a major prescription vitamin company. He has a lot of managerial experience. Another important team member is Stephanie Jaski, the founder of FedUp USA. She helped start the Tea Party movement. These people all have big lists, big followings. This team brings a lot to the table that can go a long way to answering the libertarians' wasted vote syndrome. As I said before, we have an historic opportunity to permanently empower the Libertarian Party with this presidential cycle. You'll never hear me say I have a jobs plan, because my goal is to fix the root problem, and then only then will jobs be created from the ground floor up, not from the top down. The root of this problem is that all of our money, every single penny except for coins, is created as an interest-bearing debt. That's the problem in this country. That means and banks are creating all the money. That means what we have, in essence, is ruled by bank. And that's the problem. This is in direct contravention to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, which states that Congress shall have the power to coin money and control the value thereof. You can't fix a debt problem with more debt. Just as Byron Dale, the great Minnesota monetary reformer, always puts it, it's like trying to drink yourself sober. Can't happen. That's why government is no longer responsive to the electorate. And that's why the people are out in the streets in dozens of cities right now, today, across this country. People know that two-party system solutions are not working. Now here's my promise to you. If elected as your president, I will do three things by executive order on Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2013, which happens to be my 65th birthday. One, I'll put an end to government borrowing. No more national debt. The United States will replace Federal Reserve notes by reissuing debt-free U.S. notes and gradually pay off the Treasury bonds, the national debt, as they come due. Two, I'll put an end to the ability of commercial banks to control the quantity of money in our system through what's essentially counterfeiting. This has been a massive fraud perpetrated on the people of the United States. And number three, I will abolish the Internal Revenue System, the income tax, both personal and corporate, and implement a fair, simple, and equitable consumption tax in accordance with the U.S. Constitution. This is how we funded our government for the first 100 years, and we can do it again. I'd like to end with a quote, but I'm not going to have time. It's a wonderful Gouverneur Morris quote, which basically says that the rich have to be controlled by a rightly constituted government. Thanks.
Since Lee, you had the first say-so, Roger, you get to field the first question first, and proceed from my right to left. This first question will be a 90-second answer, and I'm not going to ask several related questions. Answer any and all as you see fit, because they're all related to selling your message. Given the media's marginalization of candidates that don't approve, what strategy do you have to get their attention? How will you package your message to excite the public? And are you planning on campaigning in all states? Roger.
Well, I'll start with probably the easiest one to answer first, is all states. I doubt it. First of all, there's 57 states according to the president. That's considering the amount of money that we probably would have for a national campaign. I doubt seriously that we'd be able to hit all 50 states. The media, which I assume you're talking about, the old mainstream media, is a dying industry. The future's in Facebook, LinkedIn, all the internet. That's where the young folks coming up are, and even some of those older folks are figuring it out eventually. I think that's where it all is, and that's where it will all be concentrated. How will you package it? Telling the truth. It's worked for people like Ron Paul. He's made an extremely effective usage of the internet, and we just need to just figure out exactly how to harness all of that, and we will.
Okay. All right, Jim. And if any of you need me to repeat a question anytime, I'll be glad to. Go ahead.
My 20 years as an Army officer and my training there has taught me that when you don't have the resources to compete on the wide front, you need to be surgical. And so earlier on, my intention for my campaign is to focus very, very surgically in the state of Oklahoma and a few other battleground states, and to use the energy and impetus and the donations that come out of that effort to jump into hopefully all 50 states. But we're going to focus first. We're starting off in the state of Oklahoma because of my status there as a congressional candidate in 2010 and the very favorable relations that I have with the constituency there. I've already begun to build a very favorable relationship and dialogue with the local press. So some of the things that we see happening, the marginalization at the national level, is not happening in the state of Oklahoma, as even the press seems to want a third-party candidate in this race. So we're going to continue to work on that and exploit that as well. Travel around the state, go to events, and let the people meet a presidential candidate just like we did in Cordell last week, where we've been out there and we were in a parade and we got to meet folks that walked up to me and said, you know, RJ, I hope you win because I'm sick and tired of this left-right paradigm. So we're going to try to fight, we're going to try to compete in all markets, but we're going to be surgical about it. And we're going to start off in the state of Oklahoma. We're going to put Oklahoma into a three-way race and be the first Libertarian candidate ever polling in double digits and in a true three-way race with the other two major party candidates.
The 50 state, yes, obviously you should go 50 states. Probably a bus tour would be the best way of doing it. How you package it, jobs, because jobs can easily be created by government at no cost. We need a better education system that will help create the jobs. How do you deal with the media? If I can create prosperity in one town in America, and that can be done, the other towns